Welcome back to another episode of Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt. Well, it's been a busy week. We didn't get started on video until Thursday, and then we had a couple events going on Friday and Saturday. Had to do some chores, and then I actually got into a little bit of a project today. And here it is Monday, and this video should have been out yesterday. So anyway, I hope you guys will sit back, watch the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell all your friends. Thanks.
Just playing around here with that.
It was a great weekend, and I'm headed home now. My daughter, I think she's ahead of me. And then I actually got a friend that's driving the motorhome back, so I don't have to go back up and get it. So, great weekend with friends. I did injure myself on a snowmobile ride yesterday a little bit, but not so bad. So today's ride was pretty limited, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun camping out. You may recall this pile of scraps from an earlier project, and the goal was to turn this into kindling. Well, now that I'm going camping, I wouldn't mind having a little extra kindling. Plus, the supply for the house has gotten low because I stole it for doing other events and stuff. So let's chop some of this up. Well, as you can see, that wood there came from just one stack, and I'm not even sure that stack was as tall as the ones that are left. So my arm hurts, probably from lack of doing this kind of stuff. So we're not going to do any more today, and honestly, that's plenty of kindling for now. I should mention too, this kindling is not super dry. I mean, it's been sitting out in the weather. It's dried up from what it was a little while back, but it's still got a little bit of moisture in it. So how's that look? All cleaned up. Okay, not all cleaned up, but mostly cleaned up. I'm not going to get any cleaner than that because I'm going to cut some more kindling here in the future. So, because I've still got a lot to do. My kindling box for the house is full again. Look at that. It's currently Thursday, and I've done no video for this week's Procrastination Garage. To be honest, I've been catching up on paperwork. Last week's video was late, didn't go out until Monday. And then also I injured my knee snowmobiling last weekend and the previous weekend, and I've been kind of just keeping the weight off of it, relaxing a little bit. But today we got to get to it. First off, we've got to go do some shopping, and then we got to move snowmobiles around. We got to get a trailer prepped. We've got things to do for the weekend, so let's get started. And we're taking a little doggy with us on the road trip. Hey Skeeter, you ready to go? I don't think I mentioned the reason we were buying grub at Walmart is on Saturday, my daughter and I are doing the cooking for a trail site, well, a snow park barbecue for one of the rides for the Vlasov Winter Rendezvous. So I had to go buy hamburgers and buns and all the fixing and everything. So we're getting ready to head home, but before we do that, we're going to swing by a friend's house because he's got a present for me. So what did we pick up from our friend? A pair of skis. If you'll remember, the left ski on my sled has a hole in the bottom, and snow is coming up through it. So that'll fix that. So they look to be identical to the ones that are on my sled, so I just need to swap the left one. when I get a chance. And then the other thing is this cable scratcher. I didn't realize it, but I'm missing one off my daughter's machine, and this one should go on there and fix it. We have events coming up the next 2 days. Tomorrow is just a snowmobile ride that I'm leading, and then on Saturday I'm going to be doing a cookout with my daughter. So what we need to do is we need to put my snowmobile in the back of the green truck for tomorrow, and then we need to unhook my trailer, hook up the other trailer, and then get it ready for Saturday because we're going to use it to haul stuff up and cook. So let's do the easy stuff and let's get ready. I need to gas and oil my machine, get it out, get it loaded in the other. The motorhome is just kind of in the way. Still don't have room to put it in the shop, but let's get it parked in front of the shop. If you look at the tangled cord, follow it to the green cord, and you follow it over the garage, it's plugged in. The reason is I wanted to make sure the house battery is charged up before I parked it. So got to put that away too. We made great progress in just a couple minutes. Motorhome and green truck are out of the way. Now let's get this thing back down and unhooked and get my sled unloaded. Since we're dinking around with it, why don't we go ahead and swap out that ski too? Done deal. Looks good. As you can see, the second attempt, as far as you know, went much better. It was a second attempt. The problem were those ski slides that I put on the skis, because in the back of the truck, I don't have anything down, so I didn't want to totally scratch the bed up any worse than I have to. So I was hoping to get up the ramp and into the back of the bed. Unfortunately, we're off kilter just a little bit, and so as I was coming up, it slid to the left and off she went. So I did a take two. I thought I filmed it. Unfortunately, I didn't. I had the camera off when it was supposed to be on or something. Who knows, but didn't take. So trust me, it was take two. And so now we're loaded. Need to put the ramp in the back, and we're ready for tomorrow. We've got one more thing to do. This handlebar guard is a little floppy. See, it rotates around. Takes a Torx bit. We've got the right one. We'll just tighten it up so it doesn't move. You want them to be able to move a little bit, but you want to make it so they stay. And then I'll match that one because it's a little low. I'll bring it up. The ramp is loaded and locked up, so no deadbeat steals in the middle of the night. I've got straps on the track to keep it from sliding out the back. And in case you're wondering, I used a big piece of cardboard to let the skis slide on that when I loaded it. Anyway, ready for tomorrow. Before we move tow beast away from my trailer, something we need to do. That's how much firewood we had left over from last weekend. You'll recall there was quite a bit more. And then also in the tag-along trailer, there's still quite a bit of firewood in it. So since I'm not taking this trailer or the tag-along, but I do want a fire up there on Saturday, we're going to take the wood out of this little trailer, put it in the back of the truck. We already got the fire pit, so that'll be ready to go. So let's do that while everything is close together. The tag-along trailer is empty, no more wood in it. And all the wood is here at the back of the truck. Got the fire pit, and we replenished our kindling and stuff for getting it lit. So that part's done. One trailer disconnected, and a few minutes later the other one connected. And what are we going to load into this trailer? A couple of tables, a garbage can, a couple of camp chairs, and most importantly, a barbecue. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I think I'm pretty well set. Got most everything in the trailer there. Need to put food stuff in there. I can do a little bit tomorrow night, and I've got some time Saturday morning before we leave. So I think we're good. Today's ride that I led is a done deal. Had a good time. Everybody made it back safely. Can't ask for any more than that. So now we're headed out. We're going to meet the group for Famous Dave's barbecue at a local museum that we've got reserved. And then tomorrow, daughter and I'll do a cookout, and I'll show you some of that when we get there. Another day, another event. At least it's not ungodly early. We're 7:39, going to pick my daughter up. Gonna hit McDonald's for breakfast. Need to fuel the beast up, and then we're headed up the mountain. Back at Cold Creek, getting ready for a hamburger cookout at lunchtime. It's around, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Got the fire started. I've got the barbecue heating up so I can clean the grill. I've got some hot water on there so we can make some cocoa. Ryan is cutting up onions and lettuce and tomatoes for the burgers. And I think we're about set. We were factoring around 20 people. We've got food for 40. We may be close to that 40 mark by the time we're done. We'll see. We're now a little after 11. First group ought to show up within the next half hour, we think. We had a bit of an issue. The propane barbecue, not real happy about the cold weather. I had to swap out the tank with a warmer one. It wasn't heating up, but seems to be doing fine. We actually went ahead and got a backup fire going. We figured if we needed to, we'd just put grills over that. We'll thank my daughter Ryan for going to find some rocks to keep the grill up off the bottom.
Heavy rocks.
Of course, then the problem was rocks started popping and pieces were coming off, but it's a backup emergency plan. We'll use it if we have to. Right now the barbecue's turned down low. Temperature is holding at 350 degrees. I think we're okay. Truck is idling. The other propane tank is sitting up front with the heater on. So worst case, we can put that tank back on there. So I think we're fine. We got all the food out here, except for the things we want to stay warm. We've got buns and cookies and stuff inside that we'll pull out the last minute. So soon.
It's only 2 o'clock? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm bad.
And just like that, it's over. Got everything loaded back in the trailer. Maybe not neat and organized, but good enough to get us home. The main thing is the barbecue. Make sure it's strapped down so it doesn't fly around. So that's it. Headed home. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, and it was a good day. Oh, that over there is a trail groomer, in case you're wondering. It's Monday, and this Procrastination Garage episode should have been uploaded yesterday. But I was a day late last week and didn't get started till the end of the week anyway, so I decided to hold off. Figured give you guys a little more content. The goal is to work on my old trailer down there. I did get a new switch for it, and let's put some LED lights in it. Well, I could work around that sled. It sure be easier if I just backed it up a few feet and got out of the way. Here's a new switch I ordered, and can you hear it? It's ticking. That's the way the other one was supposed to work. The other one was just defective. So we're going to swap this one in place of that one. Maybe. Okay, I've run into two problems. One is the faceplate needs to bolt through this upper hole here, which lines up with these holes, which is where I put the screws to hold the extension. So that's a no-go. Now I can move these to here and one down to here, so that's not really a problem. The other thing I ran into, I just tried the switch, it doesn't work, which tells me I hooked it to these two bottom tabs, and there's an upper tab. So, in fact, there's instructions here. Yeah, look at that, instructions on the bottom, I missed them. So, I need to be in one of the upper and one of the lower. So, I'll need to fix that as well. Need more tools. done deal. Can you hear it ticking? And so there it's off. Off. Still ticking because I turned it back. So we'll turn up to 10, thereabouts. And lights are on, and it should shut off in about 10 minutes. Now, technically, I've got the timer section in upside down. I mean, this is the fine point. This should be turned to the time. Maybe I'll turn it over and try and fix it. Or maybe I'll just leave it. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it still works the same. So, switch is working now. Now we need to install some lights in here. LED lights. So I bought a 5-pack of these LED lights. And the idea is to replace these two up here and add more lights. Now, the question is, what kind of pattern am I going to use? I don't want to leave holes, so I'm going to put one there and one there for sure. And then I think I would like a couple in the middle, away from the walls a little bit. And then where to put the last one. I could put it way up in the front, or I could maybe buy one more and do something. I know, I'm just randomly putting the camera in things. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. I've got the first light pulled loose, and I was actually hoping for a bigger hole than that the wires came through. I guess that's all right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm maybe going to put 3 lights across this section here, put one here, and then one here, and then one there. I'm thinking that'll be the easiest for routing wires. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one down and then see if I can figure out. I'm gonna cut a little bit bigger hole up in here to see if there's anything that's going to stop me from pushing wires down that way, like insulation or something. Because if I could do that, then I could just cut a hole down there and run the wires. Otherwise, I'm not sure how. I could end up taking one of these whole panels off the roof, I guess. But that seemed like an awful lot of work. I'm hoping to avoid that. Although at some point, if I put a couple of lights across the center here, I'm going to have to bring that wire from somewhere. I'm not sure how it's going to work. But I'm going to go ahead and just cut around in here a little bit, see what I can find, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Are we making progress or are we making a mess? Well, I cut a hole open, and there's no insulation up there, so that's a good thing. So I suspect I can run it across. And then I pulled this metal trim piece, or well, it's a white piece that was full in metal that just kind of trims this out. And I pulled it out, and I found a white wire back here, which is a ground. And there's also a green wire, which is part of the turn signals. So what I'm going to do is, so I don't have to disturb the other side, at least not right now, I'm going to go ahead and run a ground wire, big one, through that hole over to here, and then run it down the length and use it as a ground so I can just access from this one side here. So the next step is to, I want to get a light fixture mounted up here so I can kind of take some measurements off of it so I can do 2 more. That makes sense? Sure, you're going to trust me on this. Oh, also, from tearing campers apart, I've got a bunch of old wiring. It ain't the right color, but you know what? Once it's up there, probably nobody will see it, and I'll mark the ends up to let people know what it is. And we're just going to use it up. Remember, there's no beat-up trailer. And another thing, too, look at the framework inside the walls on here, how rusty it is. It's pretty rusty, but it's just surface rust up here. Now, down near the bottom on the outside, it may be more than that. But I'm okay with that. Again, old beat-up trailer, didn't pay a lot for it, and its lifespan is limited anyway. An hour and a half later, I've got one light installed, and I've changed my mind. So here's the deal. The thing comes with holes pre-drilled to put the screws in to hold it to the ceiling, but there's only one here, 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 and here. There's no support down at this end. Well, that was okay, but what happened is, if I drilled these holes up into this wood material, the other hole this hole here would always hit a metal brace up there. I finally drilled through the brace, but then I couldn't get the screws to thread because they weren't metal screws. So I just decided, well, you know what? We're going to do 4 screws, drill our own holes, one here, and then I was going to do here and here. And then I thought, you know what? Why not just use 2 screws? One at each end seems to be holding just fine. So I've got the one light installed. What I decided was I'm going to leave one there, and I'll leave one up there, and then this panel here I'm going to put 2 offset, and then same thing in this panel 2 here offset. I'm going to need more lights, but that'll get me going. So let me show you what we've got so far. Come over here, flip the switch on, and bam, we got one working light. And we still got to put the lens cover on. It's down there on the floor somewhere. And then we started the next one. We did run from here. We ran a power wire, and that's this red wire right here. And because the power wire, for some reason, runs on the other side in that channel over there, and I don't feel like taking that one apart. And these are LED lights. They don't take a lot of power. So I tapped off of the one up here, ran it over here, and then I will run it up along here and come across where we're needed. And then I'm not sure what I'll do when I get up to that one, but I'll do something again. So that's where we're at. After trying to fish wires using this baling wire, I ended up finally using a tape measure. I'm trying to get from there. I was trying to get to this hole here, but in fact made it all the way over to the end, and that's just fine. So now I've got some wire taped to it. We're going to pull that back through. So let's hope that works out for us. Now that they're fished through, let me go ahead and hook the light to it. That one's installed. Another light installed. Now we got to hook up wires. We've got a white ground wire here that needs to be hooked into this ground wire. And then we got this positive wire here, which is already hot. It just needs to be hooked into there. And when we do that, that'll give us lights. What we do need to do though is with this wire over here, we need to make sure we can keep extending it down to the next series of lights, which we won't get to today. It's about 3 in the afternoon and I really need to get to work on getting this edited and uploaded. So we'll turn on the switch. There's one new light, 2 new lights, 3 new lights. So we're doing good. So then we're going to put number 4 there, number 5 here, and then hopefully we'll come up with a number 6 to replace that one. And then the project will be done. But we are done for today. You can see what I did on the ground wire. I just tapped in using one of those little Scotch lock connectors that you're never supposed to use. But if it was good enough for the factory, it's good enough for me. And then on my power wire that I brought in from that light there, I went ahead and I put that into a regular crush connector thing. I'm trying to think, I don't remember what you call them. And then coming out the other side, I put 2 of them on there. And so this rolled up wire here, that's to extend down to the next series of lights. And then when we're done with that, we'll put this metal panel back in. So anyway, we're calling this project done for today. As we're wrapping up, I did put the snowmobile back in. And I also put our batteries on a battery tender. And if you look, you can see it does need charging. So that's fine. We still have a little solar panel to install, which is sitting right over here, which ought to be put inside for the night. And once we get that installed, then we won't have to put the battery tender on anymore, I don't think. That's going to wrap up this week's Procrastination Garage. Remember, the number one goal of Procrastination Garage is to get me out of the house, to get me out doing projects in the shop, out in the yard, or even up in the mountains playing. It doesn't matter. Instead of sitting around watching YouTube videos on TikTok, which I am prone to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys will hit the like button. Hope you'll subscribe, and please tell all your friends. And remember, this is Procrastination Garage. My name is Matt. See you next week.